Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. We begin with a look outside. Our warm-up trend continues. We are headed now into a very hot weekend. For all the details, we want to turn straight to Cody Proctor, filling in for Jeremy Legoo tonight.
Thanks, Whitney. And as we head into the rest of this weekend, you're probably going to need one of these or just a water bottle because it is looking to be very hot for us. Right now, as we head, though, into our evening hours, we're seeing temperatures a bit on the warm side of the upper 80s, 88 degrees right now at the Spokane Airport. Winds coming out of the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour. So those wind speeds actually just picked up in the last hour or so. Around the region, we're seeing those temperatures mostly into those upper 80s to low 90s for us. You can see we're at 86 degrees in Coeur d'Alene right now, 89 in Grand Coulee, 89 as well for Moses Lake, 91 up in Omak. Now we're keeping a close eye on this weather pattern right here because we're seeing that counterclockwise movement right here. That's our low pressure system that's expected to move into the northwest, and with it might be seeing some fire concerns. We're looking at a slight chance for some thunderstorms as we head into our Saturday night, early Sunday morning hours. We're also seeing some breezy to gusty winds with that as well. So keeping a close eye on that because it is summer. We're seeing very dry conditions, and that can always be a recipe for disaster, especially since we are in the middle of wildfire season. So just be smart as we head into the rest of this weekend. Our overnight lows looking to drop down into the low 60s to upper 50s as we head into tomorrow with clear skies expected. And over the next 3 days, expect those temperatures to be in about the mid 90s for tomorrow, maybe a little bit cooler as we head into Sunday and Monday, but really that's just closer to our seasonal average. More on your full forecast is coming up.
All right. Thank you very much, Cody. We also have one final update on a wildfire burning in Whitman County. The Hawaii fire is now 99% contained, which means crews have stopped the spread of the fire. Of course, it's still burning in many places. According to the Department of Natural Resources, that fire burned about 525 acres. All the evacuation orders, though, have been lifted, so that's good news. They believe lightning is to blame for sparking that fire. Another big story we are tracking tonight, the University of Colorado leaving the Pac-12 conference for the Big 12. And this follows similar announcements from USC and UCLA. So the future of the conference is now even more unclear. So the question is, what could this mean for Washington State University? KREM 2's Nathan Hyun is joining us here in the studio with some pros and cons when it comes to this uncertainty. Nathan?
Well, as Colorado leaves the Pac-12, some fans are worried what this is going to do with athletics at Washington State University. WSU is one of 9 schools remaining in the Pac-12 conference. Washington State University is one of the longest members of the conference, having joined in 1917. But with the changes the Pac-12 conference is going through, there's fear more schools might leave.
We're just going to have lower level talent teams coming in and replacing these teams right now.
Jeff Feeblecorn has been a Washington State Cougar fan for his whole life. He's worried if teams leave, WSU is not going to get the nationwide attention or funding it deserves.
There's not as much TV exposure. You're not going to see them facing these big schools on Saturdays, any SEC schools, the Big 12, the Big 10.
One Pac-12 analyst says this might not be the case. It could actually go in WSU's favor.
If the league is able to stay together, Washington State will have an opportunity to try to move themselves up and get closer to being a conference contender.
Spencer McLaughlin leads a podcast on Locked On Sports about the Pac-12. McLaughlin believes Colorado's announcement adds to the conference's bumpy future.
Everything that we keep hearing from the Pac-12, messaging-wise, everything that continues to be said, we just go in a completely different direction.
I reached out to WSU for comment, but they directed me to a statement from the Pac-12. It says in part, "We are focused on concluding our media rights deal and securing our continued success and growth." Now, no teams will leave the conference until the 2024-2025 season, and Washington State does have their first football game of this upcoming season on September 2nd against Colorado State. In the studio, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
Nathan, thank you. In other news, a former mechanic at the Geiger Corrections Center is now behind bars for allegedly stealing equipment from the jail. Investigators arrested 42-year-old Richard Passmore at his Spokane Valley home yesterday morning. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, they recovered an estimated $25,000 worth of stolen tools and equipment from Passmore's home that they said belonged to the jail. Passmore was expected to be in court today, but refused to sign his extradition papers, so we'll keep you posted on his first court hearing. In other news, police have filed a new case in the disappearance of Michael Vaughn in Idaho. He's the 5-year-old Fruitland boy who went missing 2 years ago. Yesterday, the Fruitland Police Department submitted a case to the Payette County prosecutor and a probable cause affidavit. They have not yet said who is being investigated specifically. Now, the prosecutor will decide whether to take that case before a judge, and if there is enough evidence to support criminal charges, that judge can then issue an arrest warrant. 5 Kias were stolen in one night, according to Spokane police. KREM 2 reached out to SPD today after hearing reports of a high number of cars that were stolen just last night. Those cars were stolen in multiple different locations, different parts of the city. Police say they've managed to recover 3 of those stolen Kias. They are still investigating and trying to find the other 2. Both Kias and Hyundais have been targets of thieves, especially since a viral online video showed how simple it is to steal those cars. Coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 6, we're talking to one of those victims now dealing with repairs tonight. Looking ahead now to a few closures that could impact your commute. First, on Monday, drivers using the TJ Meanock Bridge will need to find an alternate route. The bridge will remain closed from Monday all the way through Friday of next week. So the bridge is in northwest Spokane. It will be closed to traffic trying to access Wistock's Way through Maple and Ash and Government Way. Detours, though, will be posted. Then secondly, on Sunday, WashDOT will be closing the Lincoln Street off-ramp on westbound I-90. Crews will be working to replace and upgrade the crash cushion right there in the middle. The Lincoln Street off-ramp will be closed starting at 4:30 a.m. Sunday. It will reopen at 3 p.m. And drivers will need to use Division or the Maple Street interchanges to exit I-90 and access downtown.